when you're looking for something to complain about, I should say, when someone's doing something for you is the worst, because I've definitely had that happen. And it is a relationship killer because it's just like, damn, like, when can you really be happy?
If you do not step up, if you do not grow with your partner, you will be single. And then when you have that habit of not growing, you know what you do? You find another person. And guess what? That person's gonna outgrow you too.
I don't need you to be defensive. What I really need you to do is like, let's have a real conversation. Like, you feel like you're talking to a wall. Your communication's not getting through to your partner. So that to me is one of the most obvious relationship killers, because with relationship comes problems. There will be problems, there will be issues, and without having to effectively communicate to resolve these issues, then the issue still lies.
That's how I feel like my stonewalling was. I think you're just pushed to a point where you almost kind of like retreat and like you're cowering away, kind of like, you know, I know that you're in a zone right now where no matter what I say, it's not, you're not hearing me because you're just so dead set on your point and so getting what you want to say out of the way that.
So you cut all communication?
It's not, I don't really think
it's not cutting all communication.
It's not cutting
You're
communication.
stonewalling. You're cutting all communication.
But you're pushed to it. Like your partner's pushed you to that. It's
How?
not like we're going back and forth and I'm just like, now I'm done. It's more or less like you said some things and like you keep saying some things and you keep saying some things.
So I'm out. I'm done. This is not an effective conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting the
just gotta
conversation. We can come back to the conversation when I feel like we're both mature enough to like really talk about what the problem is and find a solution.
According to how you feel.
According to how I feel, but also I feel like in an example that I want to give to stonewalling goes hand in hand with defensiveness. So it's like, if I give you a problem that I feel like exists here, but your approach is defending yourself. Like you're getting really defensive, and it's just like, I don't need you to be defensive. What I really need you to do is like, let's have a real conversation. You know what I mean? Like, you're just defending yourself, and
so I'm defensive.
Sometimes,
but why though?
It can also be thrown back on you. You ever have that happen? Where you give an issue and it's just like, oh no, but that's you. Oh, but yeah, but you did this and you did that.
That's every day of my life sometimes. I'd be like, what?
And it's like that is ineffective communication. You know what I'm saying?
Contempt.
And it was just like, there's so much someone can take.
Yeah.
And it's like, if this conversation's going nowhere, I know it's going nowhere. All right, I'm done listening.
You want to stonewall, then I'm just going to stonewall too, and we're going to be two stones not moving forward.
Word.
And that's what happened. And my stonewalling skills is impeccable. You know, I told Marie that my ignoring skills is great. Like, it's not the best thing to do. And I know it's not the best thing to do because I'm never really an over emotionally attached person to the point where I feel like, you know, this is my end all be all here. So if I start having a communication issue with my partner and we get to a stonewalling, and I'm usually the first one to be like, yo, I don't deal with situations like that. If I was criticizing you, that's my bad. But I want you also to own the defensiveness, and let's see how we can figure out a balance, right?
How can we navigate through this?
Exactly. But if you get defensive and then I start criticizing more and then you start stonewalling, I'm just going to stonewall too.
Yeah.
And now next thing I know is like, I can't live in a space where I don't like you and you're next to me. I can't do it. And if you stonewall for too long, I'm just going to be like, yo, you got to go.
It's a relationship killer for sure.
Yeah, and I can't do it. I'm a communicator, and I don't say I communicate the best, right? But I usually feel like when I do criticize, it's because the comprehension, which is not on there, and I'm surprised, the comprehension is not being done, right? Maybe it could be my delivery in some instances, but sometimes I'm making things so straight, so cut forward, and so like on a silver platter, and it still don't work. So I'm not going to sit here and keep on trying to walk on eggshells to approach you about something that you get defensive about regardless. Like, you know, I always said, if I can't argue with you, I can't trust you.
I can't stand it, especially when there can easily be a solution I feel like you just want to hear yourself complain about something. Like
Complaining is tough.
it is, especially in dating, when you complain about, when you're looking for something to complain about, I should say, when someone's doing something for you is the worst, because I've definitely had that happen. And it is a relationship killer, because it's just like, damn, like, when can you really be happy?
Yeah.
We're at this very nice, elegant restaurant, and you want to complain about the drinks not being strong enough, the waiter not coming every 5 minutes. Like, just chill out. She's gonna come. Like, let's not complain. Like, let's just enjoy each other. We'll wait for the server to come whenever the fuck she comes. Like,
I think that says more about them if you really look at it. If they can find something wrong with everything, I want to think they're a glass half full type person. So I want to say you're just a pessimist. You know, like you said, if you're in Bora Bora and you're complaining,
First class too.
but I really think that's just a nagging like relationship.
But you know the crazy thing is, I think that every sign, or not sign, but every, I guess, communicative type of person, they can identify with each other. So maybe a criticism person and another criticizing person could work together, possibly, because they might not deem criticizing as something that's so
horrible, right?
or so horrible. Yeah, because unless if they blatantly don't know what they're doing, that's different. But if you know that you're somebody who is a criticizer, and then somebody else is criticizing, it's like you two kind of could like get over it. Just like two complainers at a restaurant, and I hate being with them because it's like, damn, we got to change everything. Like, so.
Do you think a criticizer is a fixer?
Yeah.
They're always trying to fix the person?
the other person or themselves?
The other person.
The other
Like,
person,
what are you
most
criticizing?
Well, I think that would depend on what exactly they're criticizing.
Okay.
Because I could understand you wanting to be a fixer, maybe telling me what I should do to better myself, and that would probably help me like better my career or better my friendships or something like that. But if it's like personal criticism, it's just like, okay, do you not like me? Like,
Yeah.
like what, like, how much better do you want me to get?
A lot. I think that criticizing, I'm not going to put it in a positive light, right? But I do think a certain level of constructional criticism is essential, because if I'm saying, yo, I want the best version of you, you're not going to get there doing the things that you're doing right now. Everything that you've already did got you to where you're at now. So you need to be critiqued. Sometimes, like, I think I criticize because I want people to be where I can see them, right? Which is not always the best thing, because some people will never live up to that. But sometimes
It's a tough spot sometimes.
it is, but it's like, yo, it's like if Alan's like, yo, Rico, open up. And I'm like, no, I'm kind of shy. And then I never become who I am at the table because I was being shy. Alan was trying to like push me, and he might have gave me some constructional criticism along the way, but it's really essential for people to really grow. Now, I do think that when it gets to a point where you're criticizing constantly, I think those are for the people. Those people do it to people who are their second choice, and they're
Really?
comparing their relationships.
What do you mean?
Because if you've had another good relationship, or if you had other good relationships, but you really love this person and they're just not cutting it, you're kind of comparing what they did versus what they do. And now you're kind of criticizing them because you want them to be able to match your level of expectation that you've already had
From somebody else you were with.
from somebody else you were with.
I don't necessarily think that it has to be you trying to mold someone to be like someone else, but it could be you trying to mold someone to be just the way you imagined your person to be. Like, if you had an idea of what you wanted your dream girl to be, and this girl, I really like this girl, we're dating, but she could use a little tweaking, so I'm gonna tell her to do this, or I'm
Fix
gonna
her
tell
up a
her to
little
be
bit.
like this, and I'm telling her to be like that. We don't have to be necessarily comparing her to someone, but it is maybe someone. It's an
idea.
it's
Ideal.
a fiction, like fictional
what you think
woman
it should
of what
be.
you think that your dream girl should be.
But if that's the case, I just got a question about this one.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then are you not accepting your partner? because then I think this is criticism that's relationship killers. But I think there's a difference between that criticism and then healthy criticism.
Right.
And I think if I feel that you're not living to your potential, I think there's a way to say that and a way to deliver that. But as far as like critiquing you, then I think that says more about me, because then I'm disappointed.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like the heavily criticism is just like, that's why I said, like, do you even like me? Like, what, like, what's the constant criticism about? Even if that is your reality, that is a crazy relationship killer, because like we don't need to be in a relationship. My best isn't good enough for you. I'm out.
Now everybody's time frame is different, right? So it's like, let's say like, yo, okay, let's jog. We're gonna use an analogy. You've been jogging with me for 7-8 months and you still can't get past the half a mile.
That's not my thing, maybe. Maybe the person is like, yo, I'm doing the best that I can.
Hell no. No.
That's wild.
Because the thing is, but like, I believe in factual standpoints, right? The fact is, no matter whom you are, if you jog every day for 6 months, you are going to jog a half a mile. So when I realized that you're not, I realized that you were trying to do something for me and not really trying to do something for you. And it's actually frustrating me watching you fail over and over again. So now I become criticizing, because it's like, with certain level of resentment, because it's like, well, why'd you even try? You know what I'm saying? Like it
Because the person was trying to please you.
but that's another problem for me, like personally.
No, but I feel like at that point in this situation, you don't need to, at that point, criticize. At that point, you need to just realize this is not their thing. This is more my thing. And maybe she just let it go.
But I think
agree with that
criticizing
one.
starts with a level of frustration. You got to realize these people that criticize, and I'm saying it because I'm a criticizer, right? we're already invested into you, not just like, we're invested into you emotionally, spiritually, and we care about you. So it's not like, hey, this not gonna work. It's like, well, come on, let's like, what is the reason why you can't accomplish this, or what is the reason why you can't do this?
But you know what? You have to realize that not everyone is built like you.
And
I'm not talking about you specific. I'm just talking
Nah,
about
we could be with
everyone.
me. I like that.
Everyone. Like me, I resonate a lot with this certain scenario, because I started getting on my workout shit, and I wanted my partner to also, like, I'm like, be with me, like, let's do this. I'm motivated. I'm getting up. I'm doing this every day. You have excuses. You have the time. Do it before work. You could do it after work, but you have the time. Like, let's go. I only do this like 30 to 40 minutes a day. You have that time. Like, just get with it. And it's just like, some people just don't have the drive and the motivation that you do to work at this goal. Maybe this goal isn't as high on their priority list that it is on mine. So it's just like, I'll continue to do my thing. If this isn't what you really aspire to do, like, I'll keep doing this for myself. I'm not going to keep criticizing you when I see continuously.
That's how you the people you start criticizing, because you're outgrowing your partner. You're not criticizing somebody that you're at the same level with. You're outgrowing this partner. So you may not criticize in month 4, but when you get the body that you want in 24 months, and you look back, and in the 24 months, this person still looks the same.
Whoa, that's wild.
I'm just using an example.
Yeah, but what about the fact that she started? You know, because if say you were like the whole jogging thing, right? Mm-hmm. She started jogging, she's not keeping up with you. But like, what about the celebrating the fact of like where they got to? And I think if you're skipping over the fact that she started from 0 and now she's at a quarter mile, you know what I mean? That could have been a lot for her.
We don't celebrate small steps. If you do not step up, if you do not grow with your partner, you will be single. And then when you have that habit of not growing, you know what you do? You find another person. And guess what? That person's going to outgrow you too. And you have a habit, you have a history of relationships where your partner left you because they surpassed you. That's what I see contempt. I think contempt is not a good thing, because you start to feel superior, but you only feel superior when you really are.